Everyone else is doing all the for you. So just stop. You let everyone leave it to everyone else. Just keep turning up, clocking in, doing your 7 out of 10s, and you'll win the league.
7
There you
out of
go.
10s.
There you go.
Battering teams, not
that could be
conceding
like-
shots. Hello and welcome to the Fixing Football Podcast. Me, Martin Naylor, Scott Naylor and Liam O'Meara. We're a full squad out tonight and there's loads to talk about. We don't really have one topic in mind, so we're just going to go at a bit of everything and see where our mood takes us this week. First of all, Scott, how are you doing, mate?
I'm very well, Martin. I can't complain. It was a good weekend all round on all fronts. The Knicks won. My boy CM Punk won the World Heavyweight Championship again on Saturday night, which was a wonderful result for me.
Hold on, we started with basketball and WWE here.
Yeah, I know, but you asked me how I was.
Fine,
I'm giving you the context behind my good mood.
Please go on.
So, the Knicks won. Had a bit of a losing streak, beat the Chicago Bulls. Happy with that. CM Punk wins the World Heavyweight Championship on Saturday night. Beautiful result. And to top it all off, the annual trip to 3 Point Lane turned out to be exactly that. 3 Point Lane, it remains a beautiful, beautiful result for the mighty, gargantuan, colossal Chelsea. So I'm happy. Can't complain at all.
It was CM Punk against them, Scott.
He's against a guy called Jey Uso, who
Okay.
I fucking cannot stand, and I'm extremely glad that he did not win.
Liam, how are you?
I'm good. I didn't catch what event was it, Scott? The wrestling.
It was literally called Saturday Night's Main Event. Very
Okay.
imaginative. Very.
Oh, yeah, you know, call it what it is. I would know what to expect. Yes, I'm very well, Martin. Very well. I did take in some other sport as well this weekend. I was at
Jesus Christ! In fact, I did. Go on.
Yeah, I was at the Hill Dickinson Stadium for England versus Australia Rugby League. And I suppose I'll get into that stadium, which is an amazing stadium. But great day out. Probably had a few more beers than I was planning on doing. I'm still feeling the effects, to be honest, on the Monday of recording. But yeah, really enjoyed that, mine.
What was it like getting to?
Not as bad as everyone's making out. Although, saying that, the trains all were cancelled. And then we went to a train on the other side to Maghull, which is like the other line away from Liverpool Lime Street. The train to what is Sandhills, which is they've kind of renovated for that, was okay. So once you got off at Sandhills, it's quite well organised. It's a bit of a walk, about 15, 20 minutes, nothing horrendous, through the industrial part that is the docks. Anyone who's been in that part of the world before, it is the massive industrial park. I suspect it's going to start looking a bit different over the next 2 or 3 years. And then afterwards, walked back to Sandhills, and that was pretty well organised, to be fair. I was back in Liverpool within, I'd say, an hour of the game finish. I was back in Liverpool City Centre. So it wasn't as bad as I was expecting, because I've heard a lot of nightmare stories, but yeah.
That's
really,
all I'd imagine. I'd gigged in Liverpool quite a lot over the last couple of years, and I'd always, every so often, have a drive down to the docks just to have a look at how it was going on and stuff like that. Go for a different route home, and that one thing I couldn't shake was how the hell are they going to start funneling, like, what's the capacity? Is it 55,000 or something?
Yeah, I think it's touching the 6, isn't it? I think it's touching the 6. Yeah.
Like, how are they going to funnel that many people like down this way? If they must have thought of that. Surely I weren't just the brains behind it.
It did seem that way. I mean, I think what's different with rugby, I suppose, is that, and I don't know what Everton is like, but you've got a lot of coach parties, so they're coming from different rugby clubs all across the north, you would say. So there was a lot of parked up coaches around. So maybe not everyone is funneling to the train station, but yeah, I was back in Liverpool in no time. So it worked out really well, yeah.
I had a really busy weekend. It was Halloween and bonfires going on and stuff and DJing. I was out Thursday, Friday, Saturday this weekend. Thursday night went from 8 till 2 p.m. at a wedding, which was about 2 hours away as well. So I got in at like 4:30 and I was working Friday. And I walked in, like I said, at 4:30 to my wife and both kids awake. Daughter had been sick. Parker was just awake. Vicky was like, looks like we're all up now. And that's my time to be like sneaking in bed, not starting breakfast. So that made Friday really long. Friday I did a Halloween themed wedding, which went as expected.
But they got goths.
Yep. But also neighbours, so I can't slag them too off.
Not fair. Happy. Well, congratulations, neighbours.
Saturday, I did a bonfire/fireworks party in Clitheroe for about 1,000 people, and it was really good. But the cold really kept people. Got rid of people pretty quick. It was good for about an hour.
I'm not a big fireworks person, me man.
I'm not. I like playing them though because there's loads of people there. But I don't like them. I don't like balloons either. I don't like anything that's noisy.
Yeah.
Other than me being noisy, I don't like anything else being noisy.
I think they're a bit like zoos to me. I think once you've seen one firework, you've seen them all. They're not changing like 2,000 years or something. And also like going to an event when, they're doing it in the sky, aren't they? Like
it is in the sky, yeah.
So you could probably see it by being near the event is like being at the event, really, isn't it? I mean, they obviously don't hear your great DJing skills, Martin.
I mean, there's some cynicism to go along with that, but I suppose you're right.
Yeah, fair enough. I hope it was a good night, though.
It was good. So, then that takes us around to the things that none of us have mentioned is football, which is why we're all here, fixing stuff on the regular, creating unbelievable content for our lovely listeners and viewers. Now, where shall we start? In fact, we'll not start any of our lot. We spoke about Liverpool. At this time last week, we was ready for Liverpool in the Cup. Hold on, where did Liverpool play last week? Did they lose in the Champions League? They lost in the Champions League.
No, they lost in the League Cup, didn't they?
They lost in the League Cup. Sorry, yes, you're right. I should have been more prepared. And that had Liverpool fans calling for Slot's head. There was videos going around on TalkSport. There was phone-ins happening everywhere. Every podcast out there was talking about, is Slot now, is this job too big for him now? Is he bitten off more than he can chew with all these signings? But then cut to the weekend, Liverpool get another win and everyone's back to kissing and making up. Where are we at with Liverpool? Liam, do you want to take this one to kick us off?
Yeah, I think the Cup game on its own wasn't a disaster because they quite clearly wanted to fully rotate. Liverpool do have a deep squad, but I really do think that Liverpool, not so much through the Cup, but would only really take this Cup seriously if they got to maybe the quarterfinals, which is kind of what they do every year, really. They do sort of then wake up to it a little bit later, and I think if quite a few of the other big six do that, I think they're quite susceptible to going out in the early rounds, and it's only if they get to the quarters, then it's quite a bit more difficult to knock them out. So I don't think they're alone in that. So I think that result on its own wasn't terrible, but I do think because of the previous results, it took on a much greater significance.
Yeah,
and rightfully so. But then they did have a week to prepare fully for a important league game where there were the record of some like 70-year-old record of consecutive league defeats on the line, and they were very good. And essentially, preparation helped with that. I suppose there is some vindication in what Slot did. I don't think his season's going to be defined by how they got on in the Carabao Cup, but I don't like teams just writing off trophies, but I do think it can happen in those early rounds. I don't know what you think, Scott.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think in the grand scheme, as you say, he's not going to live or die by that kind of result, but the optics start to look really poor when it's the 6th defeat in 7 and it then just becomes a bit of a pile on for him. So I see what you're saying. I don't know if they threw it.
No, they absolutely threw it. I'm going to chuck that out though.
I think it's more of a skill issue from Slot, to be quite honest with you. Don't get me wrong, he threw the kids out and there was a lot of people that he left out. But he also left out a lot of people who haven't really been very effective either. Like, people made a lot of the bench, and it was Salah, Isak, Wirtz, none of whom have really done a great deal anyway. So
no.
I kind of feel that, and they're going up against a Palace team that's well organised, in good form, and are probably going to have a really good season. So, yeah, I kind of feel like, again, I'm with you. I don't like teams throwing the cup because it can kind of make your season a success halfway through, and it sort of can take away what might end up being a poor league finish for Liverpool by the standards of what everyone thought was going to happen before. And you kind of already spun it into a positive. But yeah, I don't think it's all rosy in the Anfield Garden just yet. I think there's still a lot of questions that's going to be asked of Slot. And I think that the win over Aston Villa doesn't really... Aston Villa saw over about 4 weeks what Liverpool really, really struggle with, which is long balls over the top and set pieces. And they decided, we'll do none of that. We'll keep the ball on the ground and we'll try and tip-tap it all the way. I have no idea what Unai Emery was thinking in that game.
Well,
'Cause
both goals were like their own fault as well.
yeah, they were gifts.
So
Total gifts.
while the result is exactly what Liverpool needed to maybe kick them out of this funk, the performance still wasn't anything close to the praise that it was seemed to be getting. That Klopp's got Slot's got hold of it now, and things are back on track. I didn't see that at all. It still looked the chaotic. It's was like a sketch from a 80s, 70s sitcom. It's like everyone falls to one side of the pitch and then everyone falls to the other side of the pitch. There's no cohesion that connects anything at the moment, and I don't know if he's going to see that. I don't know if the good players are just going to keep bailing him out when you get that. People will say Salah's been off, and he gets one like that. Salah has been off. He wasn't great that night, but you can't just give him the ball on an open net. He is going to score.
Yeah, it's true.
I would still be a little bit worried if I was a Liverpool fan that things haven't turned the corner that they hope it has yet. And this week is a really, really big week for him with Real Madrid tonight as we're recording and Man City at the weekend.
Yeah, it's a horrid week, that, isn't it? City and Real Madrid in the same week.
Yeah,
That's
for a team that can't
horrible.
defend, you don't want to be coming up with the world's hottest striker right now. The guy's insane. Where are you at with City at the moment? What are you thinking?
City, they are being dragged single-handedly into a title race by Erling Haaland, aren't they? Like, I think I saw today Man City's goal scorers this year, and it goes Erling Haaland on 13 in 10 games, which is a disgraceful. And I think the next highest is Max Esteve of Burnley, who's scored 2 own goals. And then you've got like Cherky on 1, Foden on 1, and so on and so on. And it's just every game he scores, he can't just score one. He seems to get a brace every time he does pop up. And I don't think we're seeing a great City team, but we're seeing a City team Erling Haaland might just be able to put them on his back and keep them competitive. And because he's that good, isn't he?
He's ridiculous. So when you're speaking about the depth that Liverpool had, I thought Liverpool had a stronger second 11 than what they fielded, so that's why my claim was that they thrown it a little bit. When I looked at the rest of the teams that went out that night, like Chelsea's, like I guess Man City's as well, and like Arsenal's, the depth was just ridiculous. And Arsenal's in particular, I could talk about Arsenal for a little minute. I just thought our second squad, our second 11 that we put out, potentially had like a couple of players who would start internationals, who do start internationals on the regular.
Can I just say though, before you carry on, there is a difference with Liverpool than the two teams that you just mentioned, in that Liverpool won the league last year. So there is not the same pressure on Liverpool to win, because I think for Arsenal particularly, the League Cup should be a priority for them, because that gets a massive monkey off the back of Arteta about the trophy situation. It gives the whole season a completely different spin. I'm not saying it should be a priority.
You just did.
No, but I'm saying it has a much greater significance for two teams that didn't win trophies last year than
I
the
agree.
one that won the league last year.
I agree. It means more to us than them. But on the run of form that Liverpool were on, I believe maybe that was a potentially easier win that they could have gone for. But our depth, was ridiculous, and we had arguably one of the harder ties of the round in Brighton, albeit at home, but Brighton are a good side and they didn't put out a weak side at all. We were starting a 17-year-old making his debut, 15-year-old, a couple 18-year-olds, and we still looked dominant and strong. Brighton had their chances, given I think Kepa had a great game, Norgard came in, had a great game, but they're senior players. Max Diamond was just different level, and then you can just ping it out wide to someone like Eze, who just controlled the game from the left wing rather than in the centre. It's a fantastic performance. I've got a question for you, Scott.
Go on.
Seeing as though our dominance and our defensive power, if you will, has been the talk recently, and then the other talk is, can Arsenal beat Chelsea's 15 goals conceded record with this defence? They are on track to do it at the moment.
They are. It's tricky because that's a record that I genuinely saw another team going unbeaten before I saw that being broken.
I've got a question then, a little trivia fact. Do you know whose record Chelsea beat to get that 15-goal record?
The way you're asking it, I feel like it's a loaded answer. I should say Arsenal, but I actually don't know.
It is Arsenal. But it's interesting. It's the season Man United won the treble.
Oh, is it?
Arsenal conceded 17 goals that season.
17? That's still impressive,
It's
isn't
I
it?
was looking at it. Is looking it up this season. So the year United won the treble, Arsenal conceded 17 goals. That was the previous record before Chelsea beat it.
To be fair, there's a different world where
That was, yeah.
Arsenal at least won a double that year. Because it was a very...
No, they didn't. The year after they won it.
No, but that season, I know it is the United treble season, but you're talking Ryan Giggs extra time in a semi-final. You're talking you pushing Arsenal all the way for the title. It wasn't, it wasn't a Man City treble.
Yeah.
It was a very hard-fought treble, wasn't it?
So sorry, Scott, you go on about the Chelsea's record.
Yeah. I mean, I would fucking love for you to fail miserably at this, because that's something that we've clung on to for a long time. And it is genuinely one of the most impressive records, I think. And I think when you look into the 15 that we did concede, I think only 5 of them were from open play, maybe 6, and the rest were all set pieces or penalties. So I think you've got probably the best defence that we've seen since then. The mass stack. I know we've seen other great defences Chelsea have had really good defences.
We've seen unbelievable defenders since then.
Yeah, defenders. Yeah,
we don't concede shots, let alone goals.
Yeah, that is how can you put a goal past a team who won't let you shoot? It's really, and how is that happening? Because it's one thing to keep clean sheets and having a great keeper in net and being really organised, but not even conceding shots that tells me that you're just suffocating teams very quickly. But I don't have you down as like a really high press team. So what are you seeing?
Well, we're absolutely a high press team. We just have the ball the most as well, so it's hard to see the high press when you also have the ball most of the time as well. But yeah, I'm done. Liam wanted to speak about Victor Gyökeres in a minute, but I've got a question for you both before then. A little bit of a game we could play, but what's better? Breaking 100 points in a season, breaking the goals conceded record, so that would be 15 or less this year, or going invincible, going unbeaten all season. What's the better record to have?
15. Beating the 15. I think that's the hardest one of the 3.
I think it's the hardest. I don't think it's the best.
Well, not the best. It's the fucking boring as fuck. But it would be the most impressive. It's definitely the hardest of those 3.
I believe so too. I believe that breaking that 15 goals conceded record is the hardest thing to do. But I think being invincible is the best one to have of them 3, just because it sounds the best.
Yeah, you get that name then, don't you?
Yeah.
And the little.
I think a treble beats all 3 of them.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah. Premier League and the Champions League.
Premier League, Champions League, and FA Cup. A proper treble. That trumps everything.
Nope.
They are. That's name. That you should get a gold trophy for being unbeaten, for drawing loads of games. Like, nice.
Well,
one.
we've only ever seen it once, so.
But only in this country. It happens quite a lot everywhere else. But
in less competitive, boring, low quality leagues, it does happen sometimes.
I am of the opinion that a treble trumps everything in pretty much any country, by the way. Because
but that again, Liam O'Meara changes the question and gives his own answer.
Well, but it's the one in it, and I think you've got a chance of doing something like that this year. You've got genuine treble capabilities this year.
Yeah. I'm just trying to not get too excited about it. It doesn't make for great content, me not being excited and trying to be stiff-faced about it. But I really am trying to not get my hopes up. I think we're really good, and I get excited about how solid we are at the back. And us even not conceding shots is fun for me these days.
But in the back of your mind, you're terrified of being here in May.
Yeah.
And me and Scott pissing ourselves laughing because you've bottled it all.
I would be a complete psychopath if I weren't a little bit scared of that.
And that's ultimately what's going on here. That's this whole conversation is, me and Scott have resigned to the fact that this could be a horrendous year for listening to you talk about Arsenal.
Yeah.
But there's a slight little bit of hope that it could be the best year ever to hear you talk about Arsenal.
Liam, what at this point, the question to you both, what stops Arsenal winning the league at this point? That's a serious question, because we're by far the favourites. We have a great lead and we have an unbelievable defence who seemingly won't quit.
I think there's 2 things that could stop you winning the league. I think a serious injury to Declan Rice. I think that would change the way in which you're able to dominate the ball in midfield and also win the ball back. And I think teams might be a little bit braver. I also think teams are wising up a little bit to set pieces. So something that we saw at the weekend in the Chelsea game was really interesting, how Chelsea defended the long throw. I don't know if you saw this.
How so?
Where they essentially got rid of a lot of attackers. So they didn't... What a lot of teams have started to do is they've started to bring everyone back for it to try and win the aerial battle. But the biggest advantage in that situation is the fact that a throw takes longer to come in, so the goalkeeper has longer to see it. By putting more players in the box, you're suffocating your own goalkeeper's ability to win the ball. So what Maresca and Chelsea did is they left free up. And essentially, it almost created this situation where if our keeper wins it, you're fucked here. So it almost became like a chess match situation. So I think something that could genuinely make a difference to Arsenal is if teams do work out how to defend them on set pieces. And it's not impossible for that to happen because things do get worked out in football. It hasn't happened yet, but it could happen. And I still don't think that'll derail you because I still think you're miles better than everyone else. But I think those two things are the weaknesses, I think.
Did you see, I saw one long throw this week. I think it was Fulham against Wolves. And the guy threw it in and it basically just skipped off about 4 defenders. It's like a skimming stud. It went from the corner of the box. It just eddied back. Guy volleyed it in back post. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think I agree with Liam, you know. I think the two things are, one, that the final point that you made, Liam, on if you do get figured out from the set pieces long throws, the goals from open play do not come in. And there's no one, Gyökeres, I feel like he's injured now, isn't he?
He is injured. There's something going on. He came off at half-time at the weekend, and he had a really great first half as well.
Stinker and hooked.
Yeah.
He scored, and we were 2-0 up, and he was playing great. And Scott can't stop talking and sharing videos about that pass that he made in the first half.
It was fucking shite. Massively overhit. He was aiming for Eze. Let's just call a spade a spade. That's fine. Steve, he was.
He battered it.
No, yeah, because he can't pass. That's why he battered it.
He's a professional footballer. He's 27 years old. He don't fucking misplace a pass that bad. You can't be that cynical to think he's gone for Eze. So
we're now saying that 27-year-old professional footballers can't possibly do anything wrong. I'll remember that.
I can't do
I
that.
I watch enough League One football to say that definitely can happen.
Yeah. All right, he's an elite centre forward. Then you don't miss.
I actually just
look.
My view on that pass. My view on that pass is it was a relatively simple pass into space. I don't
think it was that. I don't think there was anything that crazy special about it.
Can I talk about Gyökeres then while we get into this?
If we could only shut you up about him for 1 second.
Right, and I like Gyökeres, as you know. You know, I've been banging that drum for a long, long time. Championship Gyökeres. But why? Why is there such a narrative around him being a difference maker when, if I'm being honest, he's doing okay? And that's fine, by the way. You know, and he's got a lot of adapting to do. You know, when you talk about the league that he's played in, and he's doing okay. I think he's putting himself around well. He's being a presence up front. He is linking up play well. He's doing fine. No issue with him. But I just feel like anytime you talk about it, there's so much other things that are going well. It's like, nah, it was Gyökeres was the difference today. And it's like, what?
He wasn't.
Yeah, he was okay, wasn't he? No. 10 out of 10. I've never seen link-up play like this. I mean, yeah, it was all right. It was pretty good. No, you're not watching properly. But is there a bit of that? Is there a bit of that going on, Martin? Or is it just me? Because, by the way, again, I want to underline, I feel like he's doing all right. I'm not saying he's doing badly.
The thing is, he isn't doing Haaland-level goal scoring. He isn't doing anything.
Fair.
But I think that's what people wanted to expect with us getting a striker of his profile and the way that he'd done in the last couple of seasons and then stuff that he's been able to do since, is that I don't know if people were expecting something different. I think the way he plays has enabled us to be so much better up that end of the pitch this season. Just being an outlet.
Pressing's better.
His pressing is really, really impressive. But the fact that we played a lot of last season with Kai Havertz and then Mikel Merino, is they're two players up front who want to come deep. And that immediately suffocates players like Odegaard or Eze in the middle. And to be fair, I don't even think Eze's been super great in filling in for Odegaard. But he's got so much more time and the way players come in. He makes us a better team going forward. But yeah, I'd love him to be on 25 goals right now. Like I say, it's a solid 7.5, 8 out of 10 so far. I think he's done well. And I do think once he gets he starts getting some clean, good goals under his belt, I think he'll be on fire then, and I don't think he'll stop. So it's just, but like I said,
does Havertz get a look in?
God, you fucking better not. If you want to win that title, you fucking better not.
Gyökeres is the main man.
Fucking shite.
And I don't know where, but everyone likes Havertz, so I don't know where he then fits in after that.
But
we'll see.
You just spent too long defending Havertz. You just can't. It'd be weird for you to turn and go, actually, you can't play him now because you
check his goal record, mate. He's fine.
Well, you spent years trying to convince us that Havertz was all right. You can't. All of a sudden, it's like just drop him. Just win the league. Yeah. You don't have to. Just do it. What do you reckon, Scott? Is Gyökeres? Is he all that?
Martin, you touched on something there about it's not what everyone expected, but he was allegedly the 103 goals in a 100 game striker. That's what I was expecting from him. And I can't say I've not really been that impressed with a lot of your attacking play. Like you mentioned Eze there. He's been okay, but nothing really. When you signed him, it was like you got Zidane, the way some of your fans were reacting. It was really weird. Like you've signed Palace's number 10. Like he's decent. He's a good player, but I thought the reaction was a bit over the top. And I've not seen loads from him that makes me think he's landed, but he's also not put up any stinkers. He's not been Florian Wirtz level. So, again, he's just slotted into a team that's, again, he's built to win the league. And I think the only thing that can really stop you, to answer your earlier question, is you. If any team in Premier League history... Yeah, Martin Naylor and your unwillingness to celebrate and be excited. But I think if there is any team who could fuck it up from this position, it is Arsenal, because you've done it before. You've got history for doing this sort of stuff. So that I'm clinging on to the fact that just how Spurs have that Spursy tag, I don't know what Arsenal don't have like the same... It's like the whole, you're the only team who's never won the league being top at Christmas, aren't you? That always comes around every year. Pretty sure it's you.
I don't think so. I think that's a relegation thing. I don't know if that's...
Yeah, sure. Of course it is. We'll say that for the sake of it.
Can't just make up stats.
Well, it is. Like, you're the only team, I think, who have been top at Christmas and they're not won.
It feels... That feels right, I'd say. Yeah. We like vibes.
The break's going to be interesting. I'm going to do some fact-checking in the break.
Yeah. No, I think you just need to hold your nerve and just don't bottle it. Don't fuck it up, because everyone else is. Everyone else is doing all the fucking up for you. So just stop. You let everyone, leave it to everyone else. Just keep turning up, clocking in, doing your 7 out of 10s, and you'll win the league.
7 out of 10s.
There you go.
Battering teams, not
that
conceding shots.
I could be like Arteta with a light bulb saying that, couldn't he? Just don't fuck it up. Just let everyone else fuck it up. It could have been.
Yeah.
I could see.
Great idea, boss.
Yeah.
Right. We're going to take a short break. We've got some ideas to fix some stuff in the future. Arsenal is not one of them. They're doing fine. We'll see you in a minute. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Do all that fun stuff for us, because we do fun stuff for you, like providing lovely content. So just click the subscribe button and you can find all the details at our website, which is fixingfootballpodcast.com. Go and do that, and I'll see you in a minute. And we are back. And I just remembered that the boys didn't ask me about my extracurricular sporting watching.
No, we did.
Stuff.
You went off on one talking about fireworks.
You literally fucking ignored Liam asking you about it.
Did I?
You went, oh no, but I'll tell you what I did do. I went to do some fireworks and that. And they were like, all right, nice one. Not what we asked, but all right.
You listened. I'll tell you, I've been watching that I think is really good. You're familiar with Dave Portnoy? Do you know who he is?
Is he a comedian?
No.
Okay.
Is he the guy who owns Barstool Sports, that little weird dude? Yeah.
Little weird multi-millionaire. So he owns a thing called Barstool Sports, Liam, anyway. And then this time last year, there was a thing called the Creator Classic, where a bunch of golf influencers, golf YouTubers, the Rick Shields of the world and stuff.
Like the DOD guy and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, not him, but so Rick Shields and a few others did like a little tournament on YouTube, and it was going to be like the YouTube Masters and stuff like that. And anyway, it went really well and did good numbers and stuff. Anyway, Dave Portnoy said like how enjoyable it was, and he was willing to put up £1 million and get all these people involved. So there was like, he set up this invitational of about 45, 50 golf YouTubers and stuff. They've put out 2 3.5-hour videos on YouTube that have done multiple million, like 5 or so million in a couple of days. Which, like, a 3.5-hour video on YouTube doesn't usually like catch the audience, but the production on it's been unbelievable. It's really good content, and I'm into golf, and I like all them people.
Who else? Is anyone else? Like the Four Brothers? Are they on it?
No, the Four Brothers aren't. The only Brits are Rick Shields and Peter Finch.
Right, I do know them too.
DOD King's on it. The Good Guys.
Yeah.
Bob Does Sports. Sort of all in partnership with them. I'm trying to think of who else people might know.
This must be a you lot look at me if I name a wrestler or two. So I have a fucking clue what's going on here now.
YouTubers. I know. I didn't realise I knew so many. Now I've just reeled off quite a few of them there.
Did a gig
I don't know
for
who she is,
Shields
but
once,
Paige
so.
Spiranak. I don't know who she is. Never heard
She's
of her.
in it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've never heard of her.
Never heard of her.
She's fantastic. Anyway. Is she? Is that what she does? Let's get back to football.
Never noticed what she was up to.
Anywho, big news this week. What's the big news this week? Vitor Pereira, is that the one we're going with? After signing a contract in September,
3-year
new
contract,
3-year
yeah.
contract, he has now lost his job following that loss at Fulham.
Well, I told you so, and you're all laughing at me when that contract got signed. You all laughed at me. I have to say, you're not laughing now, are you? I did say, because you didn't let me have Nuno, which is fine. I understand why you said no to Nuno, but I think I've been pretty on the money with this one as well.
Yeah, just not first.
Well, yeah, all right. Well, I would have been first if you accepted my answer, but I understand why you didn't. But yeah, so I mean, it's terrible. I don't know what they want from him though, because they were bad when they got him in, and he managed to basically.
He was doing an alright job towards the end of last season.
Yeah, he was.
So, innit? He built a team around Cunha, didn't he? Which is what anyone would do who's got a brain. And also he started inverting Aït-Nouri, didn't he? Because Aït-Nouri was very wide prior to it, and he started inverting him to almost to the point where he was a centre attacking midfielder really in that team. And it's just get close to Cunha as possible. And then they sold both of those players. And also Fabio Silva, who was probably the only other outlet that he possibly had, even though he hadn't done that well at Rangers on loan.
He hasn't done well anywhere, him. I don't know what the big fuss is about.
He's absolutely dreadful.
Yeah. But is he Ajax or something like that? He has gone somewhere, hasn't he?
Guy's a nomad of footballing. He's just nothing. He's just an NPC. Just doesn't even play.
He's 20 years old still.
Yeah.
He's been 20 for about 10 years.
Freddie Addo.
Where is he now, Scott? He's at some B-class Euro side.
He's at
B-class Euro
No,
side.
Dortmund.
Scott will blade him in Conference League last season.
Dortmund, there you go.
The fucking dog. How's he gonna get? He's got a better agent than Choupo-Moting, this guy.
Gary O'Neill's reported to be on the comeback. They're interested. By the time this goes out, is this the one? Is that the move?
He has, literally about 10 minutes when we come on, he has turned them down.
For real?
So yeah, he has turned them down, literally just as we were about to record.
So I also saw another rumour about Erik ten Hag. Is that the one? I mean, that's the most guaranteed relegation of all time. But
well, he's available, and he's...
Yeah, but so are we.
Yeah. Well, football's not known for rewarding excellence, is it? Let's be real. It tends to reward mediocrity and failure more so than it does success. So I wouldn't be that surprised. I could see him... I mean, his spell at Leverkusen was embarrassing, wasn't it? Like, I don't know what exactly went wrong there, but to be sacked after 3 matches is clearly... He's not left him... He's done his reputation a bit of harm. So I could see him... He can't get much worse for it, Ten Hag, can it? If he gets Wolves relegated, he's not...
I think he'll end up in Saudi for a bit, me.
Do you reckon?
I think he needs that kind of job where he's just out of the limelight for a little bit.
Liam, we're only 10 games in, but is it damage control for Wolves already? Is it preparing for the Championship even?
I was going to say, what is damage control when you're that bad?
Is it preparing for the Championship time?
No, they've still got time. By the way, I don't think there's a world where they stay up, but you have got time theoretically where
And
if you can get
a
a tune out
transfer
of a team-
window.
Yeah, look, the weird thing is about terrible teams is you only have to win so many games to stay up. It's not like you have to win every single week. You can turn it around relatively quickly if you can get the right person in. The truth is, I just don't know who they bring in. So, I mean, because it's likely that they'll go after someone that's out of work. So who are you looking at then? You're looking at what? Michael Carrick? You're looking at Russell Martin? Brendan Rodgers?
Rob Edwards is one I think
Well,
I might have seen.
He's only just taken over, hasn't he, at Middlesbrough? He's doing quite well there. So
he's right, okay.
Yeah, I think it'd be expensive to get Rob Edwards out of Middlesbrough. I think I heard Carrick, and I could see that. I could see Michael Carrick being there. Russell Martin, I think he's talk of him going back to Southampton as well, because Will Still's been fired as well, which fucking long overdue. He's been absolutely abhorrent as well.
Have we seen? Is it just that time of the season when we're starting to see this more? Because we didn't see it a lot especially in the Premier League last season. But managers, there seems to be every time you turn on Sky Sports News, there's a manager gone.
Well, there's a big difference this season, isn't there? Is that the teams that came up aren't guaranteed to go down.
Yeah.
So that completely changes everything. Completely, that creates such panic. Such panic. I mean, you couldn't predict at the moment which three are going down. I mean, I have a feeling that it'll be probably Burnley, West Ham, and Wolves. If I was going to guess on three to go down,
I'd have to agree with you at the moment. Yeah.
But it is open because of the way Sunderland leads. And to be fair, I'm not writing off Burnley; they're doing okay. But because they're a lot better this year, there's an absolute widespread panic in the Premier League.
Not even just the Premier League, though, is it? Like, there seems to be managerial unrest everywhere you look. I don't know if it's just it's the only thing that a board can do outside of each transfer window to try and resolve anything because the panic is there so much.
Well, I mean, I think there's a few different things happening at once. So, I mean, if you look at the Championship, quite similarly, there's no Coventry have had a very good start, but I would be surprised if they're there at the end of the season because they're not.
It's a long old season, that Championship one, isn't it?
They're not man for man the best squad on paper in the Championship. You've got teams that are underachieving, like Southampton, which Scott rightly mentions, have had an absolute honker of a start under Will Still. So there's a lot to be played for in the Championship as well.
That was my hot take, by the way. I don't know if you remember, Liam, on one of our early episodes, that I predicted a bit of a managerial bloodbath this season. It seems to be all coming at once. It's all right. It's there for everyone to hear.
Oh, we've seen a few already, haven't we? Would Pereira be, the third or fourth already?
Yeah, well...
Nuno, Potter and Pereira. And Ange, Ange as well, bloody hell.
Ange twice, almost. Because it felt like it was this season he was still really at Spurs, wasn't it? It was hard to tell where the season ended with Chelsea seemed to be endlessly playing, so it's hard to tell when the season ended, to be honest.
Still going on.
Perfect segue, Liam. Scott, talk to us about Chelsea, the North London derby, the other London derby that people like to make a fuss about.
The other London derby, 3 Point Lane, as we still affectionately refer to it. It was good, and Liam touched on it earlier, and it was the kind of, because Spurs have somehow scammed their way into like third place before that game, and Spurs have been really poor, like especially at home. Their home record's really bad. Did you, Matt? I'm sure you must have seen that stat today about Spurs losses at home and versus Arsenal's at the Emirates.
Arsenal have only lost 6 more home games than Spurs, and that's comparing our time at the Emirates Stadium and their time at their new stadium, which is about 15 years difference.
I was going to say, you've been at the Emirates, so good. It's got to be 15 years now,
2006.
Fucking hell, Jesus Christ. So this isn't a Thomas Frank or a current Spurs sole issue, but they're still not great, and they've picked up all the points away from home. And they've not really played particularly well at any point during the season. And again, I said this, Spurs, everyone was banging on, they've won the transfer window, they've been amazing, and all the signings have done niche, as they always do.
Xavi Simons taking a lot of flack.
He was bad. He was very bad. He got subbed on because Lucas Bergvall went off injured on like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then he came in, and he looked just so light and just so easy to push off the ball. I mean, Chelsea physically bullied Tottenham in a lot of that game, and we're not a very big team. We've got you got Reece James in there, and you've got Caicedo, who's stronger than he looks because he's not like
he's got a powerful team, not like a domineering physically team.
Not like that, no. But he was very easy to push off the ball. Jamie O'Hara was kicking off on TalkSport, saying it's like playing with 10 men, and it kind of was. And I feel bad for the guy because he was very close to joining Chelsea at one point.
No.
And I feel like, I don't know, I say this all the time, serious players just don't go to Spurs. It just happens. And I don't know if that's, he kind of looks like he doesn't really want to be there. And I kind of feel like if it all went his way, he'd be playing in blue instead. But it just didn't for whatever reason. But yeah, he was poor. It's rightly so he's getting.
I don't just want to focus on Chelsea, Tottenham being bad, but João Pedro back on the score sheet.
Yeah, and he could have had 3 or 4. He was looking back to his best, but all over the pitch. I mean, Caicedo was fucking absolutely insane. He pulled that goal out of nothing. Spurs kind of dicking around with it on near their area. Caicedo wins one ball, passes it to Pedro Neto, who gives it away, and Caicedo bulldozes in and wins it again, cuts it across. Pedro puts it in the top corner, and yeah, we created quite a few other good chances after that. That on another day he was having 3 or 4. Jamie Gittins missed an absolute.
That was a sitter.
It was a stinker. That
Gittins looks like he needs to. Every time I see Gittins, he looks like he needs to think so much less than what he is doing about football.
Yeah, well, ironically, in that situation, he could have he had time to take a touch if he wanted, and then just lash it low. But he just went to tap. I mean, you've seen better players than Jamie Gittins do that. It just happens sometimes.
Then the goal he scores last week is one of them where you aren't thinking about it. You just fuck it and watch this.
Yeah, but I think everyone to a man, there wasn't a bad performance from Chelsea. Although Spurs didn't really offer much threat, we kind of bullied them all over the park. And I was really impressed with Maresca's ability to deal with these set pieces, because we've been fucking horrendous at dealing with set pieces and particularly long throws. We very rarely win the first ball, and then once it gets that flick on, almost every time we're leaving someone unmarked at the back post, and it's an easy tap in for someone. But that tactic of leaving basically 3 attackers forward, you're then giving, rather than you're playing into the team who's taking the throw, you're trying to defend their set piece tactic. You to put 3 men forward, as Liam rightly said. Sanchez is many things, but one of them that he is in a positive way, he's great at claiming crosses. And if he catches that and can release a Garnacho or a Pedro Neto or whoever, Thomas Frank then has to think, right, do I then put as many people in the area as I wanted to, or do I need to drop 2 or 3 men off? And it then creates more space. And then, so we've been crying out as Chelsea fans for us to be able to defend those better. And that might be the way. That might be the only way to do it if you've not got a Gabriel or a Saliba or a Van Dijk who can really dominate the box.
Yeah, just make room for your goalkeeper. Let him come and get it. He could get higher than anyone else. Might as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It seems so simple, doesn't it? But it really does.
Get your own players out of his way and he'll take care of it.
Yeah, and it worked. It worked like a charm. And I'd like us to see us. I'd be interested, because we play Arsenal in a couple of weeks, and I'd be interested to see if that's the same way he chooses to deal with it.
To be fair, we're not. I mean, corners will be interesting. We aren't like. We don't make use of long throws like in the way a lot of other teams are doing. But I think a throw is a lot easier to get than a corner. If you know what I mean, you're more likely to have a long throw opportunity.
We just don't have the same weapon. If you imagine,
no,
Lewis Skelly can do it, can't he?
I think so. Calafiore's maybe got it in him, but I think that's about it. So it might just be about that, having it. Probably Timber's going to turn up with some right traps on him in a few weeks.
Yeah. It was great performance by the Blues at Spurs. We've got to go away to Azerbaijan midweek, which is not a fun away day for us.
That is away, innit? That's about as away as it gets.
Yeah, it basically borders China, I think.
It does.
Who is it? What's the team?
Karabag.
Oh, it's Karabag. Yeah,
we met them in the Conference League last year.
What was the other team who were near China? I'm trying to think. We play them, but we play them at home. Thank God.
Is it Astana? I think it's Astana.
No, it's
Astana.
not.
That's Kazakh, innit? Astana.
It is Kazakhstan. Talk amongst yourselves. I need to find this out. Still got to do my head in if I don't.
But no,
it begins with an M.
Yeah, we've got so we got to go away to Karabag, which is a long way to go, and then then we play Wolves, who, funnily enough, just fucking sat Vita Pereira. So new manager bounce is going to kick in, and we'll probably fucking bottle that. But no, good performance from Chelsea. I feel like we're starting to get a bit of fitness back in the squad that has been missing. Some of the players who weren't with us last season are gelling a little bit. I've liked what I've seen of Garnacho as well, which is nice. I was really on the fence with him coming in. Well, I say on the fence, I wasn't very happy about it, but he's one of them.
This is the consensus amongst other Chelsea fans, though.
I think it's a
blonde hair.
Yeah, don't like his stupid blonde hair. Fucking good analysis. But yeah, I think he's one of them, though. He's going to be one of those players that no matter what he does, someone is going to look for problems. Like, he came off for, I can't remember who it was for now. And then he was sat on the bench and he looked a bit annoyed. And I think he was just more annoyed that he didn't score because he played well. Like, there was nothing wrong with his performance. And I think he was just
annoyed when
like,
he gets subbed off.
Yeah, but I think people are taking that and go, oh, look at his attitude. It's disgraceful. It's fucking this and that. And it's like, I think people are just looking for stuff because it's him as opposed to him doing anything.
Speaking of which, one of the big other talking points for that match was Jed Spence and Mickey van der Ven.
Yeah.
Giving Thomas Frank the cold shoulder. Liam, what did you think of that? I know Thomas Frank's come out and said they both apologised today.
Well, he would do, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I mean, to avoid any of that, but this isn't something out of, especially Jed Spence's wheelhouse.
It's it is a weird one. I think it's a hard one to defend.
Yeah.
And I don't think they'll win any friends with the Tottenham fans because I don't think a lot of Tottenham fans will turn on Thomas Frank at the
No,
moment.
certainly not.
I don't know. They were booing a lot through that match. And it was more so down to the way that they were trying to play out. And they didn't seem to like the urgent or the lack of
that
urgency.
free kick at the end was the most annoying thing in the
Couldn't
world.
believe it. And the Spurs fans went fucking ape shit. You could hear. So I don't know. I think Thomas Frank, I think he's in a bit of a tricky spot. If he doesn't start playing some half-decent football, maybe they're going to start getting on his back.
The problem you've got, I think you hit the nail on the head. You started talking about Tottenham's home form pretty much for the last 10 years, even before they moved into the stadium. And the issue is, and I think Frank will struggle with this, to be honest. And I think this is what Ange really tried to change. They've always struggled to be the dominant side. And they've got an issue with being that at home because ultimately, yes, they are this big six side. And yes, they have had, I think, relative success, I would say, Tottenham over the last 15 or so years compared to the team that they once were when we grew up. Where they are now, it is night and day. We kind of forget that. But they've still struggled with this idea of being the dominant side that goes and beats someone at home. And I think Thomas Frank has never been that manager. And I think that's going to be an interesting thing for him to overcome, I think, in that role. That's really, really anecdotal with not real much analysis in there.
No,
but
I totally
feels
agree.
right.
I totally agree with you.
FK Kirat Almaty is the team who I was thinking of. They're
The
the
one
one
that bit knocked Celtic out, aren't they?
They did, yeah, and they are the ones who border China.
Have you got
Luckily.
them in the Champions League?
Yeah, but we play them at home. It was the one that I was dreading to think like that. You do not want that flight. And we play them in January as well, which actually, there's two more points I want to make. I don't know if you're aware of the story around Arsenal v Crystal Palace in the next round of the Carabao Cup. That because of the way that the Conference League is being scheduled and the way that they have to fit their matches in, so it doesn't necessarily time with the Champions League, but because Palace are in the Conference League, obviously, that Arsenal and Crystal Palace have to play their game just 2 days after both playing on the Sunday of that league. So they play on the 21st of December, and then both teams play away on the 21st of December, and then play on the 23rd of December in the Cup. And then obviously someone will be playing. We're not playing Boxing Day, are we, and stuff like that. But just fitting it into the thing, it just makes think. If we spoke about fixing football schedules a lot in the past, but this just seems like a ridiculous one. I just feel, I honestly more feel for Palace than this, because they're going to be a cup side. They're more going to be concentrated on that. This, where you said it means a lot to Arsenal, it definitely means even more to Crystal Palace to be in the latter stages of these competitions. And I just feel like every hurdle that this club sets at, they just get an absolute pile of shit thrown in the face at every opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also the benefits of doing well. You know, they could have sold Gay. They could have sold Gay and reinvested that money.
Hold on, no. This isn't they haven't got the depth to compete. They actually don't. But this is more of a playing 5 games in 10 days type thing.
Get on with it.
Yeah, I think to Liam's point though, if you're up there winning stuff, you're gonna have to play more. Like it just is what it is. Like Chelsea season.
You can do what Liverpool did.
It just seems that this can't be foreseen at all. That a team who is in the Conference League are also maybe going to be in the quarterfinal of the Carabao Cup. That seems far fetched to someone, and they've had to scramble around to find a fixture.
Look at Chelsea last year. 5 fronts. 1-2.
Season's still going. It's not ended yet.
There wasn't much sympathy for Chelsea.
I don't think you're hearing me here. So we're going to move on to the 3-minute allocated time for Bolton Wanderers
Well, I didn't even see the game, and it's almost like it didn't happen because it wasn't. I don't think there was any recording of it really. I think it was it's just you can see the odd highlight of it, and that's it. But anyway, we're in a good spot. Nice little win. We got Swindon.
Liam, what are we talking about?
So Bolton won in the FA Cup first round at
Right.
home against Huddersfield. So that was nice
Correct.
for them. Yes, I didn't see it. As I say, I was at the rugby. I took that week to have a weekend off football. So, but that's nice. Nice little FA Cup first round win. So we got into the second round where we've been drawn against Swindon Town away.
Glamour tie, the big one.
You know, second in the league in League Two. Ian Holloway manager. So,
Is he?
So that'll be an interesting game, I think. But we'll see. It'd be nice to get into the third round. Hopefully draw one of the big boys. That's always really kind of the only reason we enter it, really, to try and get that. So we'll see if that happens. In the league, we've got some big games coming up. So Port Vale at home, which hopefully on the back of our last two games, we can knock those over as well. They're struggling. We should start really kicking on into those playoff positions. And then we've got Stevenage away coming up as well the week after. So there's some big games on the horizon. And Bolton seem to be starting to find a little bit of form. And as Stockport have shown by putting a few wins together and ended up top, it really is anyone's League One this year. So hopefully we can keep that form up, and who knows where we are come Christmas. And that's really it. There's not really much else to update on Bolton.
Yeah, there's nothing to add. So even calling the second string fans these days for the first round of the FA Cup, the first choice fans get a weekend off.
Yeah.
We haven't fixed anything this week.
Well,
we haven't had a point here.
I feel like there's an element of things tend to work themselves out, don't they? And that's a rule that you can apply to life. Do we need to fix everything? Do we need to meddle in every little thing that happens in football?
I'm glad this is at the end of the podcast. What is the point in us?
No, but, sometimes these things work themselves out.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. We have to see. Sometimes you have to wait and find the problem first. We've had a look around, but not really found anything. I suppose that's good, innit? If we didn't have to fix anything, that'd be good. I mean, we'd have to find the new stick,
Wrong. Let's talk about VAR. Referees. PGMOL.
They seem to be getting things better. They seem to be getting better at VAR, don't they? Actually.
Apart from giving corner kicks, if you want to ask Sean Dyche, but...
And he wasn't happy, was he? He weren't happy about that.
No. I mean, we don't want that. They are thinking of looking at second yellows, aren't they? They are thinking of that potentially being a change for next season, second yellows being looked at, which I think makes sense to me.
So, this is our call out to everyone who's been listening, that we want topics that you find dear to your heart, that you think need fixing, that you think are wrong with the game. Let us know what you think would be fun to discuss. If you've got any points you want to put across, let us know. Get in touch. We'll speak to everyone and anyone. And I think that's where we can leave it. Liam, we've got the awards coming up. The Football Content Awards is coming up very soon.
Yeah, 2 weeks on Thursday.
2 weeks this week, yeah. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to going to Leeds. But other than that, I'm looking for...
Any particular reason for that?
The venue. I usually give it the good old double fingers when I drive past it if I'm going to a gig that way.
Do you know what? I've never been to Ellen Road to watch football. And always because it's always like 50 quid. And I'm always like, no, I'm going to get pumped. I'm not spending 50 quid to watch get absolutely smacked by Leeds. So no, I've never gone. I've never gone.
Me neither. But we can have a look around and we can, write Scott's phone number on the toilet wall.
Well, they've had a bit of investment. It might be quite nice in there. Yeah,
Leeds is a good night out as well.
Investment.
Leeds itself
is a good night
out.
I think, what's it called? Oceana nightclub. I think I went there when I was like 20-year-old or something.
Oceana.
Is Oceana still a club in Leeds? What do we reckon?
Definitely not. Or at least, not in that name. It'll have a new name.
Permanently closed. Oh, yeah. Of course it is.
Then no, it doesn't.
I do a gig in Leeds quite frequently. It's always good crowds. Leeds and Liverpool, right up there. Manchester. Fucking farts right now. We're going to finish this podcast with an apology from Scott about his facts.
Yeah, I do need to make a correction, and I have a statement that I need to read. Claimed early on the podcast that Arsenal were the only team to be top at Christmas and not win the title. It's actually quite funny how wrong I was when I really looked at it. Not only were you not the only team, there was a good 4 or 5. Villa have done it, Newcastle have done it. And actually, a double error. I also claimed that you had done it the most frequently. And that was also wrong because it's Liverpool. Liverpool have bottled it at least 5 times at Christmas, mostly to Man City over the last few years.
When did Villa do it?
98, 99, apparently. So yeah, sincere apologies. I retract my statement and my slanderous comments to the Gunners. But you were second behind Liverpool. You do. One thing I was right about is you do have previous. We can still fuck this up. You can still bottle it.
Fine.
And as Liam touched on,
well, I accept.
We will be there, no matter what.
On behalf of Mikel Arteta and the Kroenke family, I accept your apology.
Good. Don't sit Kroenke's lawyers on me. I don't have the means to fight them.
Not many do. We're going to leave it there. www.fixingfootballpodcast. For all your fixing needs, come and find us on social media. Get in touch. If you want to have your say on the episode or future episodes, let us know. And we'll be here waiting. Thank you everyone for listening, and we'll see you all soon.
See you soon.